January 4th, 2026, at Red River Unitarian Universalist Church, the title of the topic was, "What Time Is It?" by the Reverend Dr. Mark Y.A. Davies. His description of this service is, "As we begin a new year, we are reminded that time marches on, but we rarely take time to think about what time actually is or is not. In this discourse, I will focus on the concept of time as an expression of relations and reflect on how we might more effectively use this concept to enhance relations within community." Welcome from Red River Unitarian Universalist. Thank you for joining us. The religion we practice in this church is centered in the here and now, rather than the hereafter. It is more of a thinking kind of religion than a believing kind. It is governed more by reason than by tradition, more concerned with the present than the past. It is concerned with getting the most out of life, with living wisely and well. A major aim for us is continually expanding our understanding of life and ourselves. This church is a community of people who share in the free and open search for a level of understanding that will enable us to be more fully and effectively alive. The church does not tell us what we must believe. It stimulates us to think. It supports us in our search. You are welcome to join us. Our centering value is love, with transformation, generosity, equity, interdependence, justice, and pluralism.
As far as the quality of the photographs.
I never used the camera, so I'm not sure.
Welcome, beloveds. Welcome. We come to spiritual community this morning with many hopes in our hearts. The hope for inspiration, the hope for comfort, the hope for renewal. In this time and space, may inspiration water our thirsty souls. In this time and space, may comfort blossom in the gardens of our hearts and bring us sweet relief. In this time and space, may renewal course through us, as electric as a surge of energy, as serene as a nourishing meal, as contagious as joy, and bring us vitality and rejuvenation. May our time together honor all the hopes we hold within. May our time together bless us with the gifts of inspiration, comfort, and renewal. Let us be together. At this time, we have an opportunity to light our candles of community on the table. You can light a candle for a joy, a concern, to remember someone, or simply to bring more light into our space.
If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do is to save every day like a treasure, and then again I would spend it with you. If I could make days last forever, words can make wishes come true, I'd save every day till eternity passes days away just to spend it with you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you wanna do once you find them. I've looked around enough to know that you're the one I wanna go through time with. And if I had a box just for wishes and dreams that had never come true, the box would be empty except for the memory of how they were answered by you. But there never seems to be enough time to do the things you wanna do once you find them. I've looked around enough to know that you're the one I wanna go through time with.
Let's stand together in body or spirit for our chalice lightings and spoken affirmation. In betwixt and in between, we move in the liminal spaces that show shades of what can become, what can be. We light this chalice as a symbol of courage to move into that time of this and that and not this and not that, with patience and faith and love and hope that this time will pass, like the sun that moves in between rising and setting, reminding us that beauty resounds in betwixt and in between. Let us join together in the spoken affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and freedom, and to help one another. We light this peace candle to remind us of all the places in the world where there is no peace. Join me in the words now on the screen. Lead me from death to life, from falsehood to truth. Lead me from despair to hope, from fear to trust. Lead me from hate to love, from war to peace. Let peace fill our hearts, our world, our universe. Have you seen it? Our opening thought comes from Lauren Oliver from the work Pandemonium, Delirium number 2. Sometimes I feel like if you just watch things, just sit still and let the world exist in front of you, sometimes I swear that just for a second, time freezes and the world pauses in its tilt. Just for a second. And if you somehow found a way to live in that second, then you would live forever.
our past and future ever meet in the eternal now. To whom may each day of incomplete shall be a new year vow.
For our next two readings, I'll be reading from the philosophy of Alfred North Whitehead, because as I was reflecting on time, I thought to myself, I used to really like what Alfred North Whitehead said about time. And so I went back and started reading Alfred North Whitehead on time and realized that there's almost nothing that's understandable from Whitehead out of context. That if you read it in context, it's understandable. So I've chosen what I hope are the two most understandable quotes on time by Whitehead out of context. The first one comes from Whitehead's book, The Concept of Nature. It's just one sentence. It is impossible to meditate on time and the mystery of nature without an overwhelming emotion at the limitations of human intelligence. For a time of meditation, we're going to be hearing the words of Gary Kowalski and his meditation, All Our Relations. So let's take a moment to sit comfortably, perhaps with both feet on the floor or whatever is a comfortable position for you. Take some time to breathe in the silence and breathe out. Breathe in and out. Our time is short here on the earth. Around us swirl immensities of time and space, a universe infinite in all directions. How small our hopes and cares seem amid the panorama of creation. Yet we are not separate from the cosmos, but have evolved and grown out of it, like the leaves of a tree or the waves upon a sea. And our thoughts are its thoughts. Our lives, a manifestation of never-ending vitality. Our spirits, a microcosm of the beauty and creativity of the whole. Fill us then with reverence and compassion for all who are our kin, cloud and sun, sibling and cousin, the multitude of beings who share this improbable and never to be repeated moment. All expressions like ourselves of the mind at large, the spirit at play, the dynamism at work, in whom we live and move, and whom we will never know. next reading is also from Alfred North Whitehead. You know it's getting serious when I bring the philosophy books. This is from his probably most well-known work, Process and Reality. And he is talking about the connection between permanence and flux. Ideals fashion themselves around these two notions, permanence and flux. In the inescapable flux, there is something that abides. In the overwhelming permanence, there is an element that escapes into flux. Permanence can be snatched only out of the flux, and the passing moment can find its adequate intensity only by its submission to permanence. Those who would disjoin the two elements can find no interpretation of patent facts.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these vibes. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive in this great turning. We shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these vibes. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive in this great turning. We shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love.
$11.35.
You are correct.
Thank you for getting that. I appreciate that. What time is it? That's the title of today's discourse, which should be over by 11:45 or so.
We'll set the time on
As As we begin a new year, we are often reminded that time marches on. But we rarely take time to think about what time actually is or is not. And I took some time this past week to think about time quite a bit. All sorts of different memories came to mind, all sorts of different images came to mind. I was talking about one of them this morning. There was a band that was called The Time that was around at the time of Prince. If you've seen the movie Purple Rain, there was a famous person, I'm forgetting his name, who used to wear a big clock around his neck as kind of a piece of jewelry as well. Flavor Flav, that's right. Flavor Flav is the one who wore the clock. All sorts of different images came to mind. Alfred North Whitehead, the philosopher, came to mind. Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist teacher, came to mind. One of my old professors who's no longer with us, Harold Oliver, came to mind. So all these different ideas and memories came into my mind as I was thinking about time. And so in this discourse, I'm going to focus on the concept of time as an expression of relations. Time as an expression of relations. And also I'm going to reflect on how we might more effectively use this concept of time to enhance our relations, within community. I think it's helpful for us to not see time as an objective thing. Here I am along with Thich Nhat Hanh and Harold Oliver, my professor. I agree with both of them. Both of them did not see time as an objective thing that is, quote, out there, end quote, but rather to see it as a way of measuring and organizing relations within our experience. What is most important is the enhancing of the value of our relations with one another and the rest of reality. If time is used in such a way that we enhance those relationships with each other and the rest of reality, that is a good use of time. If it's used in such a way that we are damaging those relations, that's a bad use of time. When we say time is of the essence, for example, what we really mean is that our relations are of the essence. Our relations are of the essence, and the concept of time helps us to organize our experience and our actions to optimize those relations. I think this is why the Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh taught that time, as we perceive it, past, present, and future, is simply a mental construct. True reality exists, Thich Nhat Hanh affirms, in the here and now. The focus is on being fully present through mindfulness, through relations. And if you've ever read Thich Nhat Hanh or heard Thich Nhat Hanh, he gives all sorts of examples, right, of how we can be fully present in the moment no matter what we're doing, whether it be smiling, eating, or even washing the dishes. Harold Oliver, my professor from Boston University from my graduate school times, agreed with the Buddhist views on time. He was looking more at the Japanese Kyoto school of Buddhism, but very similar view of time as not being real. Time is not real. The past is memory, and the future is anticipation. All that really is the present. And Harold Oliver would say, the present is relations. That which is real are the relations, not time itself. We think about time in many different ways, depending on the kinds of relations we are attempting to understand and organize. So as we look at different relations and try to organize them and understand them in different ways, we have different views of time. We think about time in a linear way, past, present, future, when we are trying to organize our activities in relation to others, and as we remember the past and anticipate the future in the present moment. We think about time as opportunity, time as an opportunity when we think about the need to accomplish something of significance. So we often say time is running out. We're not really talking about time. We're talking about the opportunity to do something significant. That's what's running out. We think about time also as the spirit of an age. Zeitgeist, as the Germans call it, which is literally translated the spirit of the time. We think of time as the spirit of an age when we are trying to understand the defining characteristic or the defining characteristics of a period in the past or closer to the present. We combine our notion of time and space, our notion of time with distance, when we seek to understand the relations of the various aspects of our vast universe. Think about light years as being an example of that. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. I think that the most helpful way to think about the concept of time is that it can help us, it can assist us in enhancing the value of the relations that we have. It can help us to organize and understand them and therefore enhance the value of those relations. I mentioned light years as an example of how we use time, and we measure time in terms of light years and distance in terms of light years, and we're focusing on how the speed of light is measured in units derived from our planet's orbital relationship to our sun, right? So it takes 1 year for our planet to orbit the sun, and a light year is how far light travels in that period of time. If someone came from another galaxy or another solar system and we tried to use that concept, we'd have to explain that it was related to our context, right? Because a year to them would not be the same as a year to us. And so a light year would be completely different for them. But it's a way of understanding our place, our context within the universe, and to understand the relations that we have with the cosmos as a whole. It provides us with a way of understanding relations across vast distances that we would otherwise be unable to organize in our minds. And even though we think we are organizing it in our mind when we talk about light years, we really probably don't fully grasp just how far that is. But light years do not objectively exist in reality. They are a temporal construct. They are a mental construct derived from our relational experience that helps make some sense of our cosmic relations and our place within them. Chronos and kairos are two words that were used by the ancient Greeks to signify time. Chronos signified time in the quantitative sense, as in our use of the word chronological, right? Chronological has that root word chronos in it. But kairos is qualitative in nature. Kairos as time signifies a right or opportune moment. A right or opportune moment. In this kairos sense, time is a time for the human community to take action, to make use of an opportunity to take an appropriate action. And I would argue that today it is time. It is a kairos moment for us to take radical action, to care for our world. And I can use another Greek word there, our oikos, which is what the Greek word that was often used in ancient Greece to talk about the world. And oikos simply means house, our household, to see ourselves as being a member of one world house. Yes, it is kairos for the oikos. It is time. It's an opportune time to take radical action to care for our world. Because for the first time in our chronological history, we are facing a time, and I've talked about this many times, so I won't belabor it too much, but we are facing a time of mass extinction. We're facing a time of mass extinction that can be attributed to one species, right? And hello, we are the species that this mass extinction is being caused by. All of the previous extinctions, and there have been 5 other extinctions in the past. We are in the 6th great extinction. All of the previous mass extinctions have been the result of natural events that cannot be attributed to any of the species of life that existed in those previous times. There was no opportune moment or kairos moment that presented itself in any of the other great mass extinctions. The dinosaurs could do nothing about the climate changes that led to their demise after that massive object hit the earth. Species living at the time that the continents all came together to create that one massive continent called Pangaea could do nothing about the shifting tectonic plates that created such a landmass that led to massive drought in the interior of that massive continent and a massive die-off of life. All 5 mass extinctions were neither caused nor could they be avoided by the species of life in existence at that point in time. The 6th great extinction that we have begun is the only mass extinction primarily caused by one species. It's the only one that potentially might be avoided by the activities of one species. However, if it is to be avoided, now is the time. Now is the time. Now is the kairos moment to take action for life rather than for extinction. It is kairos to take care of the oikos. It is time to care for our world house. And now it is also kairos, it's also time for us to move into a time of radical actions, bold creativity, and reformation of what it means to be human. Reformation of what it means to be human persons in the larger ecological community of life. I'm hopeful that future generations will look back on our generation as being a great generation. Sometimes I try to avoid that word great these days for obvious reasons, but perhaps they can look back at our generation as being a great generation because we recognized that it was kairos. It was that kairos time for our world. But here's the great challenge that we're facing today. Precisely when we need to grasp this kairos moment of opportunity, in our chronological time, we are moving in the opposite direction. In our chronological time, we are continuing to act in ways that are damaging rather than enhancing our relations with one another and with the world as a whole. Instead of embracing an open future and the possibility to move towards justice and greater human and ecological flourishing, we are clinging to attitudes and systems of the past that have failed humanity in the past and that are failing humanity now in the present moment. This past year, and even just the past day, have been a stark reminder of what happens when we repeat the most horrific mistakes of our past, when we repeat the worst mistakes of our past in the present, in such a way that we are greatly diminishing the future. Yes, time marches on. Time marches on. But it is not a given that the future must repeat the mistakes of the past. We have an opportunity to take this Kairos opportunity to find new and more just and peaceful ways to move towards a more beloved community. The direction in which time marches is up to us. It is up to each and every one of us. And we all have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to learn from the past, to transcend the mistakes of the past in the work that we're doing in the present, and to move forward to a more just and flourishing future. May it be so. 11:52. At this time, there's an opportunity for giving. You can give at the table, and there's also opportunities to give online.
Try to love one another right.
shall surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and free, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now. Ooh.
As we hear the benediction and extinguish our chalices, let's remember to stay down here for about 5 minutes after the service before we go upstairs for lunch. Hear these words. Love holds you. Love bears witness to all your inherent dignity and worthiness. It witnesses how you try, succeed, and fail, and it does not flinch. Love will not let go. Love holds all of you. Let's join together in extinguishing our chalices. We extinguish these flames, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.